everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a special video because today I have a guest.
Hi guys!
Laura, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm a friend of Nora and I've been here for 7 years or 10 years if you include my study years. And yeah, basically I've been working in France and I'm also doing career coaching where I do CV editing and also I coach people how to do salary negotiation, interview, job interview, etc. So yeah, and I'm happy to be here.
So I thought Laura would be the perfect person to do this video with because today we're going to talk about working in France as foreigners because we are foreigners.
Unfortunately.
So where are you from, Laura?
So I'm originally from Indonesia, from Bali, but I grew up in Singapore, and I've been in France again since 2015, come back here again in 2018, so I've been living the nomad life my whole life. Yeah.
I guess it would be nice to talk about your work experience as well.
Yeah,
first,
sure.
maybe what is your job? How did you get started? How did you find a job in France? All those kind of things.
Okay, yeah. Basically, I started working here on my very first internship. I was working for a tech startup who does event tech. Subsequently, I went back to Indonesia to do an internship in Goldman Sachs, which is an investment banking, and then did my first real career in Boston Consulting Group in BCG. And subsequently, I really wanted to go to France and I got a job in a startup called Miro, which is a photography on demand company, and eventually they managed to get the unicorn status, which is the fourth unicorn in Paris back in 2019. Wow. And then COVID happened and then I joined a company called Surf, and subsequently I became the head of marketing, and then I went to Zelig where I worked together with this person.
Best manager ever.
You have to say it for me to do the video.
She was the best manager ever. So.
So we work together in Zalik where I'm her head of marketing.
Okay, so you're a manager basically, like
Yes.
a C-level position.
Yes.
Which is very impressive. Congrats. So far my experience, I'm just subordinate. I'm just an employee. We're both working marketing. Me as a social media manager / video content creator. And for me, this is my first real job because before this I was an apprenticee, and it's a completely different experience, like being an apprenticee and kind of going to school at the same time and then working full time.
Definitely more responsibility, but I'm glad you handle it well.
We're going to reply to your questions now, and we're going to start with how to find a job in France. The big question everybody is messaging me with on Instagram. How to find a job in France? Which websites to look at? Or do we need to look at websites? Do we go out and network? How to find a job in France, Laura?
I think you can start off first, Nora, the general one. For
General public.
European.
So for me, the only way I ever found a job in France was through Welcome to the Jungle. So I would say recruitment websites, finding a job websites. I never was scouted on LinkedIn or anything. Also because I think when you're a junior and starting out, you kind of have to go out and look for it yourself. So I really recommend Welcome to the Jungle. Indeed is good as well, and LinkedIn Jobs is good as well. But it's really, you have to be very patient, especially when you're a junior, because even to get an interview, it's quite complicated when you have no work experience.
I think you mentioned it took you 6 months in your previous video.
8 months? Yeah. So my first job that the first job that I have now, it took me 8 months to get it. So you have to be patient and you have to be okay with getting rejected after 1 month of rounds, and that's the other thing in France. It's very common for companies to do multiple rounds with you, like a screening interview, another interview with the CEO, another interview with the team fit, another interview with your manager, another case study, and then you get rejected.
But with determination, you'll get a job.
And how did you find? Because I think you have a different experience.
Yeah, I'm going to cover a little bit the basis of finding a job as a foreigner here, because it's slightly a little bit different. First of all, I think the easiest route is to maybe do a 1-year master or to do a language school program first, so that you'll be physically in France. So I think that would be the easiest, especially for non-EU, regarding the visa and everything. So once you are here, you are, it will be so much easier for you to apply. People will find that it is like less risk to hire you. So I say like go for your masters. Anyway, if you manage to get into a French institution, the school fee is not too expensive.
Exactly.
You know better. Another route is basically you just apply from your home country, which is what I did. That's what I didn't know. I didn't know about like your experience in masters and stuff. So I actually got scouted, but you of course you can apply from your home country, and subsequently the company would need to get this thing called the autorisation de travail to state that nobody in France can do your job.
They have to explain why they don't hire a French person, they hire a foreigner to do this job.
Exactly. And I was pretty lucky because back then in Miro they were looking for someone who can speak Bahasa Indonesia.
So good luck with that.
Exactly, Bahasa Indonesia and Chinese. And of course I'm nervous because I'm not saying that there are no French person who can speak like native Bahasa Indonesia and Chinese. But luckily after 3 months passed by and they did not manage to find a good candidate, and then they can issue the autorisation de travail. And then I got the visa and then I moved here. So not the best example that I got scouted, but like just like Nora, when you want to find a job, LinkedIn, apply.ai, right now you can just use that one to basically apply to job automatically. There's also Jack and Jill, which is an AI software where you tell them what exactly that you want, and then they will scout the job for you. Not sponsored, but they can sponsor us.
I didn't know.
So a lot of like amazing AI tool out there. For me, it's just to apply, and then to make sure you adjust your CV and motivation letter accordingly, and cold outreach as well to the people on LinkedIn. Sell yourself.
I think also like if you have something special about you or in your CV, it really helps, because I think the only reason why I got my job is because I have my YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Like I think if I just like did the degree like anybody else, I wouldn't have been like a very interesting candidate.
Exactly.
So if you don't have anything, just went to school, then I think it's gonna be harder to find a job. So at least do something, I don't know, like a side hustle that you're doing yourself, or speak like some special language to be unique, I guess.
But the good news is that if you are European, there are a lot of companies who are needing like a specific language, like German.
German, Spanish, Italian. Germany, so many companies are looking for native German speakers. And don't give up. And the same applies for finding internships and apprenticeships. I think it's the same as finding a job. It's just honestly a lot easier.
To me, it's a lot harder, no?
Really?
I submitted over 100 CV for the internship.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like fresh over here. And back when, I think, once again, lucky, not a very good example, but I got the internship and I got Goldman Sachs. And after that, subsequently, it was slightly easier, but like, to find the internship, it was very difficult.
Okay, because for me, my apprenticeship, I found it in 1.5 weeks.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
I was super fast, so... But again, they hired me because they had the YouTube channel.
Okay. Start making content today, guys.
If you work in marketing, for sure. You're a manager, so did you ever receive DMs on LinkedIn from like interns who wanted to get hired, or people?
Yeah.
Is it annoying?
It's not annoying, especially if they have a value to give. And that's the thing. When you apply, you don't just say like, hey, just apply, or like, something like that. You show them what you can do, a short summary will be nice, I did this in school, I achieved this, and this is like my portfolio. That would be very helpful for me. And
okay, so for those who are foreigners, like non-EU residents, how hard it is to get like a work visa in France?
Again, I will be lying to say that it's easy. That's why, as I said earlier, the best route is to study, or there's also like the family visa as well. Although finding a Frenchman will be harder than finding a job, and that will be on our next video. So it's not easy, but it's not impossible, especially with the current situation right now. It's really not the easiest, but as I already said earlier, they just need a process where they need to give you the authorization, and then after that you make the visa visa and then you come here. To be honest, just unlike UK or the US, you know, it's slightly more forgiving, you know. So you come here and then maybe you lost your job, there's another type of visa you can go for. And, you know, like if maybe for your extension, you didn't get the extension that you want, then they will give you another type of visa. So yeah, it's not like, oh, you lost your job and you need to pack your bag in 30 days.
Fine, it's not the US. They won't deport you.
Exactly.
Right away. And for me, I didn't need a visa. As an EU resident or for EU residents. Thank God.
So not fair, but anyway. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, guys.
And the next topic is salary contracts and the work culture. I think the hardest thing in France to get is a CDI contract. And that's what everybody wants to get, because basically in France, if you don't have a full-time work contract, it's really hard, for example, especially in Paris, like to find an apartment, get a loan, even get a visa, I think, not to renew your visa. So CDI is kind of what everybody wants, and it's super hard to get, especially getting your first CDI is very hard. In my case, for example, the way I got my CDI was that I did a CDD first, I think for 8 months. So yeah, so I actually applied for a CDI, but then you guys told me that you can give me a CDD, and then we will see after 6 months.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But it happens so often because companies, like, it's a risk for them if you're in a CDI, because it's so hard to fire you. So they try to play around and either give you a freelance contract, CDD contract, or just give you like a CDI with like a super long, how do you say, like trial period? Like 5 months, 6 months. How about
8 months.
Your trial 8 months to trial period.
Yeah.
So the best is a CDI in France. But if you cannot get a CDI, I would say, like, try to get a CDD, because maybe they can hire you afterwards in CDI. And there also, I think, is like a interim thing, like when you're just like working like from time to time. But I don't know that much about that one.
Interim basically is just like a freelance contract, to be honest. But if that's what you can get, then you should do it, you know, especially in this economy, can't be too choosy.
Would you recommend working in France as a freelance?
I think especially again as a foreigner, it'll be very difficult. You already mentioned, you know, without CDI you can't really, it's hard to get the housing, you know, it's hard to get a loan, you know. And for auto-entrepreneur is also a bit stricter in terms of like the visa. They will have to see your business plan. I think if that's what you can get and you also get slightly more money, then I would say do it, you know. And also we forgot to cover that for freelance contract, you don't have mutual, which is the extra healthcare. You don't have
paid vacation. You don't have anything.
Extra titre de transport.
Transport. You have to pay for everything. Although you get like more money than if you were just in a full-time employee, but you don't get a lot of the good benefits that is so good in France, like 5 weeks of paid vacation.
You have like Toby's hair, by the way.
Oh, no worries. 5 weeks of paid leave in France. I guess like health insurance.
I have 7.
Goodbye.
Continue.
Not jealous.
And for American out there, the health insurance is not €1,000, it's $20.
Yeah. I think we pay 20 something, 25. 20. So a lot of benefits if you're a full-time employee compared to if you're just a freelance. But as a freelance, it's easier to leave the company if you don't want to work there.
They cannot impose you to be in the office at a certain hour.
So you do your own hours and stuff. I also want to talk about French work culture. What do you think about French work culture?
Contrary to what people believe, you might have this different opinion from me, but you know, actually in tech, specifically in the industry in tech, people are working like crazy, like dogs. You know, like people always say French people are lazy, blah blah blah. But they had a statistic that showed that the C-suite in France actually work the longest hours in Europe. You know, so you see, I work long hours. You know?
But I think C-level people work a lot. But employees, like juniors like me, you know, like younger people, I think they are not. I mean, I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about other people. Because I think in my first company, it was like the stereotypical, like 2.5 hours of lunch break. Like they pay like games during lunch break, and I'm like, can we go back to work at like 2:30 p.m.? So that was my first work experience.
But I think your viewer is coming from a lot of industry, and I think we can say that in France, if you want to get the work-life balance, you can get the work-life balance. It's very different from most countries. Even like I used to live in Singapore for 10 years and work in there a little bit. You know, like people typically work 44 hours a day, 9 hours or 10 hours with lunchtime. It's a culture for them to OT, to stay overtime. So yeah, so it's a lot of work. If you want, you can get the work-life balance. But the good thing is in tech, the salary is always like much higher.
So what counts as a good salary for like a junior in France?
A junior, I think 35 is
35
excellent.
is good.
Yeah, 35. And if you can go 40 after like 2-3 years, that would be good. Yeah.
Do you need to speak French to find a job in France? Yes.
I think.
Let's not lie.
Yeah, let's not lie. You know, I would like the ideal answer is no, right? It's possible, you know, for you to not speak the language, but it's just gonna be very difficult. Like unless you have like a very special skill. Yeah. I'd say it's very difficult. But they also do, unless they also like looking for like a native speaker, for example. Yeah. Native English or native Hungarian. But yeah, otherwise then you need to speak it. And a lot of our campaign are actually in English, like 90% of them are in English. But in your day-to-day, when you speak to your colleague, you know, you still have to speak French.
If you don't speak French, you will feel very excluded and left out, I think. I think even if it's like an international company, a lot of French people prefer to just like speak French with each other. And not a lot of them takes the effort to like go to you and like speak to you in English. So I think it will be hard if you don't speak French at all. And even like, for example, me, I think I speak good French. I have a good level. And even as like, if you have a little accent, you have less chance to find a job. So that's the word. Like they can see your name is a foreign name. They can hear you have an accent. So even if you speak good French, it's a bit difficult to find a job. So
I'm surprised, you know, because I think my French is worse than Nora's, you know. And and it's also quite difficult for me on the aspects. So I really have to highlight all the other things. Or maybe just learn French lah, So.
But yeah, honestly, if you don't speak French, it's gonna be very hard. Which industry wouldn't require you to speak French? Maybe like
tech lah.
Tech.
Yeah, tech. Who are like scaling up already, you know, a lot of like the CAT 40 tech, you know, they are very like English driven, but also not very easy to get in. For like someone who is like junior.
Somebody asked if they should quit France given the financial situation and tax.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like doing it. I tell Nora
she's like, I asked myself.
Same question. Yeah. We were just talking about it just now. Like, you know, globally, I think globally things are not doing very well right now. Where you want to move, huh? Like US, Germany is like the same thing. Even Indonesia right
Singapore.
now. I think Singapore could be good to buy. But let's not discourage people.
Not to discourage people
I
to
think
come.
it's depend on your current situation. You know, like it's like not good globally and depends on what you want. France is quite comfortable. You know, it has a lot of welfare and you know and it's for us the place to stay right now for now, but we'll never know.
What would you start over if you had to?
Oh, that's a very good question. I guess it depends on people's priority. My priority was to get the long-term visa, right? The PR. But like I end up like moving company from time to time because I also have to say in tech it's not the most stable. They like to turn over people. They like to, you know, they sometimes they go bankrupt. You don't know. It causes an issue to my visa and to my permanent residence actually. So if I could have started over, I think I wish I joined a company which is more stable. Not a crazy growth company, but something which is a little bit more stable. Okay.
And what would be your advice to somebody who is like a foreigner who's looking for a job in France?
I say try everything.
Try everything. Don't be shy, honestly. Really, don't be shy.
Whatever opportunity that come to you, I think just take it. Do your best. Always have a good attitude. I remember being really discouraged when I first worked here because you know it was so hard to find a job, but it gets easier, guys. It gets easier.
Once you find your first CDI, then it's easier. That's true. People say that and I didn't believe it, but it's true. So it's just the first thing you need to find. And to find it, you have to just keep pushing. Just push. But you will make it. And we wish you good luck. So thanks so much for watching this video. Where can they find you, Laura?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can link it down below.
Maybe we will receive some messages.
If you have any question, because I do career coaching, or you can also link my Instagram, and I'm happy to reply all.
Please hire me. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and bye.
Thank you guys.
Don't be say bye.
Let me say bye.
Bye bye.